There it is. All right. So we have our very first Catalyst Sprint session. This is a very short form pitch fest where users that have proposals can put their projects in these sessions and try and get a little bit more attention. We have 4 fabulous guests joining me on this episode here. And we are going to go through all the proposals and ask some questions as well. So the format is 5 minutes. They have 5 minutes to do the pitch. Then there's 7 minutes Q&A afterwards as well. So the panel here will be able to ask questions as well as the live stream audience. If anyone on the live stream has any questions, please feel free to leave a comment in the chat, and we'll be able to get those questions on board as well. In the future, I'm trying to actually get people in on the live stream as well, but we're still working that little bit out. Okay, so we have four proposals. We may have the 4th one come in very soon, but the very first one here is by Nebiyu, the Endubis message wallet upgrade. Then we have Rafael with Cardano School and Cardano Community DAO for educational content creators. And then finally, we have David with Rookiez, the decentralized motorcycle racing game manager. So we've got a couple of really interesting ones here, a broad spectrum of different projects too. Now, before we start this, we do have a sponsor for this particular episode. This episode is being sponsored by CardanoPress, the plugin that we built for the WordPress ecosystem to connect Cardano to it. So it can power any WordPress website, connect the blockchain integrates that lovely little wallet connector, and you can do some really cool things such as token gating, stake delegating, direct stake pool delegation, and all sorts of really cool things. So if you want to learn more about that, check it out at CardanoPress.io. So with that out of the way, let's go into our first presentation here. This first presentation by Nebiyu about the, I really want to find more about this, the Endubis wallet messenger. So take it away, Nebiyu.
Okay, thank you, Pete. So my name's Nebiyu. Been around Catalyst and Cardano for the past 3 years, I'd say. Yeah, so last year we started developing. We had a different concept for a wallet, and we thought, what would make it how can we make the wallet experience as easy as possible for newcomers for onboarding. And our test case was in my home country in Ethiopia, and we saw like nobody had wallets back, and it was complicated for them to start the wallet. So we thought, how can we make it easier? And we thought, why not make it pretty much like wallets? And that's when we came up with Endubis Messenger Wallet. And for our test case, we decided to use Telegram. And Telegram is the most widely used messaging app in Ethiopia right now. Almost everybody has it. And we decided Cardano wallet to Telegram. I'll quickly go to a demo on how it works. I'll just do a video because live streams. Yeah, and okay. So see. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's just loading.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it.
Yes. Okay. So this is the. I'll just start the video again. So basically, how to start the this just the features. Yeah. Sorry again. So it's Endubis test wallet, testnet, which is on the pre-prod. As soon as they search it, the wallet just appears, and then they can
search for different videos going fast. After they search for it, they just start the bot, and then they have the option of either creating or restoring a wallet that we have. In this case, we're creating a wallet. It takes you to a secure site where it will generate the seed phrases. I'm just copy pasting it for right now. And then once you put the seed phrases, you can encrypt it so that you just have to put in the password next time. And once you input the seed phrases and your password, then you automatically have a wallet on Telegram. With this wallet, that's it. This is the easiest way we figured out how to onboard people. And now to just quickly show you some of the features of the wallets. What's the video I had started earlier? Okay, so this one is, yeah, so first case is to check your balance. You can easily just say view balance and it will show you. To get your receiving address, you can either get a receiving address or you can also get a QR code if you want to share a QR code. The other option is, on this case, it gives you multiple options. You can either send to a Cardano address that we had shown earlier, to an ADA address, or you can even share to a Telegram username or their phone number. If that person is a user of the bot, it will recognize it, and you just have to send it to their phone numbers or the username. Another case scenario is while you're chatting with a person, you can just send them in the middle of the chat. You just call onto the bot, like in this case right now, and then this one is requesting for funding. You can send, and then you can put the amount you want to send, and then it would send the payment link for that person. So this is just a quick demo of how it works. And with 10, what we want to do is add more features into it and start truly onboarding people. So one of the main features we want to add is beta user interface. As a work feature, so we want to include that, and we want to have adaptive
integration through DApp, through Wallet Connect, and we want to have stake pool delegation, and finally be able to integrate this with WhatsApp and Discord as well. So pretty much that we're working on is entirely open source. It's all available on GitHub for anybody to modify as they see. Everything is just openly available right now. So that's pretty much it. Let me stop the sharing.
That is brilliant. And let me just turn my camera on again. That's really, really cool. I've never seen this type of integration on Telegram, and having that all available there. I think it really is a platform that can make it really easy to use for a lot of people, which is absolutely amazing, because Telegram, these messenger chats is like they're usually a lot of people's first point of call, as opposed to opening up a brand new wallet and different ecosystem. Now I'm just going to start the timer for the question session here, and we've got Session Cruz joining in as well, so I'm just going to let him in as well. So just give me 1 second. So Session, welcome. We just had our first pitch. We'll get you in a moment when yours is up as well. Could you just turn your camera off for a moment, just so we can deal with the bandwidth issues here, and then we'll continue with the Q&A session for Nebiyu. Okay, Nebiyu, my first question, and I'm pretty sure the panelists will have questions for you as well. I don't know if I heard you, but the seed phrase for the wallet, how does that part of it work?
So pretty much think of it as a web wallet. We could have made
it super easy, in which just shows you the seed phrase on the Telegram chat. But like the Telegram bot, the way the security works is everything is openly within Telegram chats when it comes to bots. So that's why we decided to take the seed phrase part out of Telegram into another site, which is our own site for the seed phrase generation and the password encryption. And then it's kept in our database, not the seed phrases, the encrypted version of the seed phrases, and the password, so that people just have to put in the passwords to sign transactions after that.
Okay, you said I'm just trying to work out how secure that storage of those seed phrases are. So you said encrypted versions of it. So it's not obviously plain text. Can anyone access it? How is that seed phrase information stored? How's it recovered? I'm just need to know how all that works.
So like maybe if you've used ADALITE, another web wallet, it's pretty much the same. Once the seed phrase is generated and the password is created, it is stored on the password is encrypted version of the password in which you encrypted. The seed phrase is stored in a database. So when people do sign, it goes they sign it. So that is the part that we're managing, I guess. In this case, it's not entirely kept in Telegram. Yeah, but now with the new upgrades, with the wallet feature that it has, there is an integrated browser in Telegram that is currently available. So we will be able to store everything in that and nowhere else.
Gotcha. Okay. How much funding are you asking for your next level of development?
So for this funding, so we started in the first round. We were funded in Fund 7. We were funded with $8,000. This is the prototype we had delivered. We sent our closeout report, which is the one that I showed you now. And now to do a full asking around 69,000 ADA.
Okay, cool.
So that's around $20,000.
Okay, cool. It's very cool that you have that initial proof of concept with the first one in the first fund that you're in. So it's always good to know that you have delivered and you do have an MVP, a working product there as well, which is absolutely amazing. Now, I do have some questions from the live audience as well. So this is Carl. What kind of security risk measures have you considered or taken with this?
Very good question. One of the major security risks, just the one I mentioned earlier to you, is the seed phrase openly available with bots. So that is one feature that we did. We removed that part of it, the seed phrase generation. So and neither does Telegram in this case. That is one feature. And other parts that we're trying to do is we want this to be more transitional wallet as well. We don't want it to be, your main wallet. We want to be the transitional wallet. When you first join in, when you're onboarding, easily you have the wallet. Once you learn, once you develop, we want you to upgrade. And for that, we have included a broadcast feature. So we do send notifications and awareness to all the wallet users. To all the wallet users, we regularly able to send information to them. Just awareness, yeah.
Okay, we do have a question from Rafael as well. Mute. You're on mute.
Okay, sorry guys. Yeah, my question would be, what is your plan in terms of marketing and to go to market and to reach new users?
Yeah. So one of the best parts about having it is I can easily identify now. I don't know how. Like I know each account is pretty much tied as a username or a phone number, and whichever could. We can easily approximate say that it's only one person. People using the wallet, I'm able to identify, which is a good case. And one thing that we are including right now is the referral system, where people can easily just send the wallet referral, and anybody that the wallets to just very simple connected referral system that we are able to create with this wallet, which generally you're not able to do with any other.
We also have another question from David as well. So feel free to ask away, David.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to ask, since you are already in round 7, and now we are proposing for this round 10, I was wondering if you have other features in mind for future rounds of Catalyst, and if so, which extra features do you want to implement in the future?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Yeah, I wanted to know if you have plans to access Catalyst once again in the future for future rounds for implementing extra features in your
Yes,
project,
I've
and
stated
which
in my
feature you plan.
Yeah, I understand. I've stated in my proposal as well. This will be the final for our terms of this wallet. This will be the final one. Once we are able to deliver this, we believe that the wallet can be self-sustaining. Uh, we have no plans for future Catalyst funding if this one is funded.
Okay, I think we've got time for one more question here, so I'll make this one quick. A lot of other wallet ecosystems do have their own stake pools as well, so that when people are staking, you mentioned that those features are going to be integrated in. Would you consider opening up a stake pool for yourself to help sustain the wallet's development?
Yes, exactly. That is how we intend to sustain the wallets. Every one extra, all our wallet users, making it easier and allowing them to delegate to our stake pool. But uh, that is the best way that we've come up with to sustain it.
All right, brilliant. Okay, thank you, Nebiyu, for your time. That ends your session there. Round of applause for Nebiyu. All right, you guys can turn your cameras on now. Our next guest is here as well. It's Session Cruz. So you're up. Now
I'm trying to change my name. I want my company next to it. I've been trying to figure that out the last 5 minutes. I don't know if I can, but whatever. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't. Once you're in it, you have to leave and come back in. So it's a little bit hard. But your project is a DEMU, Music Rights Protocol. I've been following your progress and development for quite a while now. You've been working on this project, and it's really interesting what you've put together and the journey that you've got here as well. But we might as well start with your session at the moment. Let me start the timer here, and you've got 5 minutes to go through your proposal. Then you've got the 7 minutes Q&A afterwards as well. So let me just get the timer here. Cancel that, 5 minutes, and whenever you're ready.
Cool. My name is Session Cruz. I'm the founder of DEMU. DEMU is a music rights protocol that'll help every artist, creator, record label manage the license of their IP across all sales channels with automatic royalty payments back to the rights holders. This suite of tools will empower music professionals to directly manage their music business. I'm going to unpack some vocabulary to my non-music folks probably in this room. Music licensing and royalty. A music licensing is the process of obtaining permission from the owners of a song to use the song in a specific way. This could be for the use in a movie, a commercial, a video game, music streaming platform, whatever. The person or entity who wants to use that song pays a fee to the song owners for permission, right? Or a percentage of the revenue that the IP is generating. And that's called a royalty, right? So now I'm going to repeat the 30-second pitch. DEMU is a music rights protocol that'll help every creator manage the license of their IP across all sales channels with automatic royalty payments back to the rights holders, right? So now let me get into the pitch, right? Now that we understand what licensing is and royalties, because it's different, Web3 community regards a royalty as something different from what I just described. The problem, for creators, building a community on a music platform today is like building a home on rented land. At any time, the rules you've spent years building your community on can be changed with a line of code without your consent. And that's where DEMU steps in. We're crafting tools that'll enable millions of musicians worldwide to build their own community of supporters and earn a living from their passion, making music. This includes artists in developing countries who have been left on the sidelines by emerging technologies, right? The DEMU Jukebox, our first product and the first Project Catalyst proposal, because we have two. The Jukebox is, through the Jukebox, artists can become their own bank, streaming platform, and record store all in one. Think of it as Shopify, but for music, right? And sure, casual listeners will continue to enjoy music on their preferred platforms, but for super fans, for those who want to support more meaningfully and be recognized for it, DEMU offers a direct line to the artist. It's like having VIP access to your favorite musician. With DEMU, artists can sell music, offer rewards, provide unique experiences, and maintain a direct relationship with every single supporter, right? It's like gamifying the idea of being a fan. But the DEMU Jukebox is the first step of our roadmap. And with this, and so now I'm going to segue into the second proposal, because that's the DEMU Jukebox kind of segues into the DEMU protocol. And so with this core value proposition that the Jukebox offers, that any artist can now sell their music and have a direct relationship with their fan, effectively becoming the platform, will grow a database of songs, of licensable music, with the built-in instructions for how to pay the royalties. And this growing repository of music, attracted first by the first core value proposition of the Jukebox, we will grow this this repository of music and make it available for other applications that also want to build their cool music applications on top of the protocol. Your Project Nooms, your Sound Rigs, Sound XYZ. The internet is a protocol, and we hope that other apps music apps are built on top of this protocol, with the challenges of licensing music and paying royalties for that revenues generated already solved. It's kind of like it becomes a music license marketplace, right? Making the content available for license to these businesses for various purposes. That's the DEMU protocol. And so for every song uploaded to DEMU, it multiplies the earning potential of the IP, of the underlying repository of music. For this reason, along with the myriad other benefits of managing your IP on the blockchain, we believe that we can eventually hit a tipping point where we attract major labels to also offer their music on the DEMU protocol, and thereby benefiting all Cardano holders from the transaction volume that represents. I hear the ring.
You did. You're pretty much spot on. So that's a pretty good timing.
I did not time that, by the way. I did not time it.
You literally like 2 or 3 seconds off. So yeah, you were right on it. So nice work. Session, you're working very hard there, and we do have some questions for you as well. So I'll start off with my first one here. Who is the team developing all this? This is quite a lot of work that you have to do, the dev, the interface. You have to build a mobile app as well. What team have you got behind this to deliver it all?
Mm-hmm. Real quick, it's important to note that the mobile app already works. So we've already built, right? We've already built some stuff. In fact, we're launching in a couple weeks. The only blocker is legal, attestations that artists need to agree to, terms of service that they're uploading music that belongs to them. But as far as the team, so I just wanted to let you know that against the first Project Catalyst proposal, we're already knocking out the milestones, which includes the mobile compatibility and some of the other things. My team, what consists of, we have a CTO, Randall Harmon. He's 60-year-old grizzled veteran, cryptography. He was into cryptography before blockchain. Experience with distributed systems, et cetera, et cetera. We have a smart contract developer, Piotr. It's important to note that my team that I've recruited from Avatar Nick is the third guy. Sorry, let me finish my sentence. Avatar, who is known in the community, a very big contributor. But it's important to note that I was able to recruit my team from the Gimbal Labs community, right? It's actually the very first community that I entered back in August 2021 when I first hit me this idea that you can use the blockchain to really help musicians worldwide. And I knew I needed developers. And so the Gimbal Labs community was the first community I entered and kind of hung around and learned from and recruited from within that community in order to get the team that I have today. And my team consists of 6 people, including our CFO, who used to work at IOG. In fact, I found her. We recruited her because we needed tokenomics work done, and IOG offered a products services group, I guess a group within IOG that helped render services for companies building on a Cardano. And so she was one of the quants that helped us with our tokenomics. And when IOG disbanded that group, she went on and joined us as our CFO. So I hope that communicates the credibility that our team has. Like, we're legit for real. And that IOG designed our tokenomics.
That's pretty good. Okay. David, you got a question here?
Yes, thank you. I was wondering, you mentioned Project Neum. Do you plan to have other partnership outside the Cardano environment for your project?
A voter partnership? Is that what you asked?
Yeah. If you plan to have other partnership outside the Cardano environment, so maybe Spotify,
yeah.
like that.
Like I said, the DEMU protocol will become a protocol like the internet is a protocol. Just like the internet, you don't show someone the internet. You need Facebook, Twitter, Google, right? Amazon to build on top of the internet protocol. Well, we hope that Project Neum, SoundRig, and even other Web3 applications and other blockchains on Ethereum, SoundXYZ, Royal.io, and even Web2, Spotify, Tidal, Apple, that they can all plug in to the protocol with the administrative burden of paying millions of artists their royalties already solved for them, and also licensing music for the Web3 startups who will need to know a guy like me in order to license, to be able to access music that they can then generate revenues on however their business model dictates. We want to make sure that we offer them licensable content, right? One-click licensable content. So that's the value proposition. We don't seek to compete with Project Neum. We seek to support Project Neum, that they can now build on top of and now have access to a library of content so that they can sell their music NFTs, for example. Or an example of Future Fest, a music metaverse, the plumbing doesn't exist for this live events metaverse to pay royalties, performance royalties they're called, for the use of music in that metaverse, right? You need to pay a royalties, and that does not exist. And so they've signed a letter of intent to basically a partner plug into the DEMU protocol so that they can pay royalties for the use of music, popular music, in their virtual space.
Very cool. Thank you. I love your energy.
Thank you. I'm so passionate about this. You're muted, Peter. I can't hear you.
Thanks, Session. In terms of development, how can other projects build on this? Like, are you building out a SDK, a software development kit on top of it? I'm assuming you have to write all sorts of documentation around this as well.
That is the topic of the second Project Catalyst proposal, right? So the first one, it's like a big timeline, right? The first one is the jukebox. It's the first killer use case, the first app. It's like we're building the cart before the horse. We're not building the protocol first. We have to build the app first, and to attract these artists through that core value proposition. And then once we start to build that repository of licensable content, basically a smart contract directory of music, right? With the instructions embedded within each song for how to pay royalties for the use of that music, first in that application, and then eventually in the second Project Catalyst proposal, the APIs that connect that growing repository of music to the other music applications that would now build on top of it. And in that case, at that point, we'll have the documentation, we'll have all the things that we need so that those apps, those music businesses, even record labels, can easily plug into what becomes the DEMU protocol.
Gotcha. Okay, that's awesome. Now, how much are you asking for these proposals? I don't think you mentioned that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's $360,000. That's what I know. There's an ADA amount. I forgot what it was. I just kind of did the conversion and then just popped that into the thing. But it's about $360,000 USD.
Is that for both or
for both? Yeah, combined. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, combined.
Right.
170 for one and 190 for the other. One, the jukebox is in the products and integrations challenge, and then the DEMU protocol is in the developer ecosystem, right? Because we're supporting developers to build their music app on top with, again, the challenge of licensing music and paying royalties already solved for them. That's the value proposition to them.
Okay, absolutely brilliant sessions. I think that's all the questions that we have for you. There's comments on the live stream. You can check them out afterwards. But I think that's all the questions from the panelists as well. So it's pretty much right on time. So it's actually quite good. So sessions, thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. And we'll talk soon.
All right.
Peace.
Now, our next guest here that we have is Rafael, and he has his proposal, Cardano School and Cardano Community DAO educational content creation. So, Rafael, take it away.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rafael. I'm just going to share my screen. I have a small presentation for you. But yeah, this is my proposal for front-end Cardano School. This is basically a DAO to support the creation of educational content on Cardano that will be run by the Cardano community. Basically, we are trying to tackle two huge problems in blockchain. In this case, blockchain in cryptocurrency and even Cardano is difficult to understand. It's difficult to learn and to onboard, especially if you're not tech savvy. And this lack of knowledge about the space is a huge barrier to adoption. So one thing that really helps with this is education. It's showing people how to use things and showing people why is it good for them and what benefits it will bring to their life. And on my end, at least, in the end of many people I know, content creators play a huge role on that. They onboard a lot of people. They help them with a lot of questions they have. And for me, whenever I want to use a protocol, I always search something about it from a content creator. But of course, it's important to recognize they have very limited incentives to do so. For most of them, is a labor of love, of passion, especially here in Cardano, that is a niche inside cryptocurrency. And as well, even though they enjoy it very much, they cannot, just focus on this. They cannot keep on. Sometimes it's hard to deliver content continuously and high quality content as they would like to do. So basically, we aim to create a DAO that will help solve this problem, a DAO that will give the Cardano community a direct voice on the content that will be created, where people can just ask for like content they would like to see. The Cardano community is also like they have been onboarded at least to a degree to the Cardano, so they know what is missing, what were the pain points, and they can suggest content to improve the onboarding experience for other people. We can use this DAO as well to focus on marketing the Cardano blockchain and to improve education, because after all, we can define strategies for that. And it will support content creators, hopefully bring a lot of different content creators to contribute with content, and they will get, of course, funds to work for this DAO, which can present as another interesting source of income and help them focus more on this art, I would say. And then we have the impact. The impact is you have voice to the community. As said, the community is the best to decide what kind of content we need, both for education, onboarding, keeping people in the community, but also for marketing, for reaching new people and new audiences. It will reward and hopefully attract more content creators. Content creators already do a great work, and through these, they will be able to create exactly what the community wants and get rewarded for that. It can be a great asset for projects building in the ecosystem. Projects can create special proposals that are like sponsored proposals, and these proposals will bring rewards to content creators, to the voters, to the treasury of the DAO. But most important, can be used by projects as a way to engage the community directly, to have tutorials, for example, to onboard them into their app, to share strategies on how they can leverage their DApps. So very nice, I would say. And then as we said, it will allow to promote Cardano to a wider audience and new users, hopefully. And it can be an impartial place, an important place in governance. Governance is just across the corner, and we need a place where people can discuss their ideas, where DRAPs can come and share what they believe in, and this could be that place where all the community is gathered to have these discussions. The advantages compared to the solutions that exist right now: one is that we have the community directly involved, making choices, saying what they want to see, And this is good because they can also back up the project, because the success of the DAO will naturally benefit, as there will be incentives for them as well. It will support and empower content creators that are starting, but also like content creators that already have some larger audience, because they can make another source of income here, and because they can also, like, every content creator we get brings a little bit of their audience, and if we get a lot of content creators to work together and contribute here in this DAO, we'll have a very large audience that will go through all Cardano and maybe even further, and content creators can benefit from these audiences, these different audiences, to you know, grow their own audience, I would say. And as well as said before, it allows us to have a clear strategy in terms of marketing and education for Cardano, to have an institution that is focused on that, but is not dependent on anyone, is not centralized, is all the community that decides what should be done. But yeah, here are the links to join the Discord. That would be great. Come, ask questions, share your ideas, because this should be built with you, because this is a DAO for the Cardano community. And the link to read the proposal and from my YouTube channel. Thank you, everyone.
Right on
Perfect.
time.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Right on time indeed. That's pretty cool. All right. Now, me as a content creator, I've got some questions for you, and I'm sure our panelists will have some questions for you as well. Let me just start your timer.
All right.
So first off, how is all the proposals for content matched up with the content creators? Is this like a marketplace? Is it, do people vote on who creates that piece of content as well? How does that work?
Yes, that would be the goal, for people to vote on who creates, but you would have several dynamics depending on the person. So we would have different roles for people participating in the DAO, a different role for content creators, and a different role for companies that would be connected with voting passes, but I can explain more about that later. But basically, anyone joining the DAO can create a proposal, and they can ask content creators to apply, or they can suggest a content creator, and the content creator can apply and say, yes, I'll do this, or you can reject whatever you want. And once you have a content creator, the proposal goes on to be voted. Content creators can apply to the proposals that exist, that are like suggestion proposals, and they can also create their own proposals directly, because they are the content creators, so they will create that proposal they want, and that will go up for voting as well with the other proposals. And yeah, that's basically how it would work. We would have a publication schedule that would be voted by the DAO in the beginning of the DAO. We would have slots, and the slots and each of the content proposals would be for discussion for each of the slots.
Okay. Now, where is this content published? Is it published on the content creators' platforms and website, or is this like another repository that will be created for the publication of it?
Yeah, so this would be just a place for the DAO. Like, this DAO is an entity, and it would have its own platforms. As one thing, initially I was thinking of doing this for YouTube, but then I got some community feedback, and it really made more sense to try to go through every platform we could. So Odyssey, you have YouTube, you have Library, all the platforms that you can. We would create an account and have that the content posted there. Yeah, that's it.
What about David's got a question as well? I'll just let David jump on, but you can also stop sharing your screen at the same time there.
Now, very simple question. What about Twitter as a platform? Because video very gaining traction, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something we'll create. But if we create like Twitter, in this case, this DAO right now, I think it's important to to make this clear. Is focus on video content creation right now as a first, as what's going to be implemented in this proposal. Of course, in the future, I hope, but it's a community that will decide, that this DAO can go to other social media as well, to other kinds of content as well, like writing books, like whatever you can, writing news, like having like a news website, and having all the mechanisms for this to be created. But of course, right now it's video content. That's what is in the proposal, and in the future, we'll let the DAO, the members of the DAO, decide. And yeah,
Okay. Just end the share screen there, so that way we have a slightly better video feed.
Sorry.
Yep.
Done.
Right. Now, in terms of the actual DAO and the setup of the DAO, have you decided on a platform for it yet?
I haven't decided on the platform. That will be part of the proposal. I've been looking at some platforms here in Cardano, like Clarity DAO and all that stuff. Right now, for this version, the goal is to make something that will be very simple and mixed with off-chain elements, because we want to test things out. Like, we have ideas, we've done research, a lot of work, but it's theory. We need to see in practice if it works or not. So we want to have something simple and then a off-chain system to back it up. And in the future, and that's part of the proposal to start, we'll start from the proposal creating a plan to decentralize everything as much as we can. But that will be for the future. So right now will be something simple on chain, the voting part, the rest off chain.
Okay, brilliant. Now, the amount of funding that you're asking for all of this?
We are asking 200,000 ADA.
Okay, I'm trying to do the conversion off the top of my head.
Sorry. So for my calculation, I did it around 0.20 ADA to be sure, and so it would be $40,000 US. Sorry.
Yep, that's okay. It's it's constantly changing, so doing those conversions are always a little bit all over the place depending when you ask.
Yeah, it's very tricky, and I did a rate that I could be comfortable. I could deliver as well on the project. I think it's relatively likely that I'll be able to get at least 20 cents per ADA, and that will be very important to deliver on this proposal, because we'll need to do some smart contracts, we'll need to do an NFT mint and a lot of marketing as well to reach the audience, and I'll be dedicating myself to this project full time as well.
What about future funding? Because this is just the first step of funding and keeping it going. I'm assuming through the platform itself, you guys would take some fees for each proposal. The treasury, the DAO should grow over time. I'm just worried about future funding of this. I know there's always catalyst there, but is there plans to make it profitable and self-sufficient itself as a platform to be able to continuously fund content creation? Some video content creation is huge. It's massive. It takes a massive amount of time to do, especially if you want to go out there and do like a full video footage and do studio quality stuff. It's very expensive. So is there ideas to really capitalize on funding for this?
Yeah, okay. So the ideas first is we'll have for voting and to gather the community, and also to make sure that people also have ADA, have interest in the price of ADA, and have some skin in the game, I would say. We would have a voting pass minting. And this voting pass minting the voting pass is basically what allows you to vote and to create proposals and everything. And this would go to the treasury to fund the treasury. Besides that, we have the sponsored proposals by companies that would also go part of them to fund the treasury as well. And besides that, any other revenues we would make, for example, with the platforms, the video platforms, would also go to fund the treasury. And then from the treasury, everything happens, and all the future initiatives, even structural ones. So any changes we want to make in the processes, that should go through the DAO. So this should be, the goal is to create something that will be run by the Cardano community, and hopefully at the end of the proposal.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you for that. Rafael, thank you so much for your time. Good luck with the proposal as well. And that ends your session too.
Thank you, Pete.
All right, so our next one and last one. Thank you so much, David, for waiting for so long. It's your project, Rookiez, the decentralized motorcycle racing manager game. I know you've been prompting me about this one. I've got an NFT in my wallet as well, so I'm finally happy that we've onboarded here and we get to hear a little bit more about it. So, David, take it away.
Yes, thank you very much, Pete. This is a very good opportunity for me to present my project because it's a very big one. Actually, I have three different proposals on Catalyst for this round because I prefer to split it in three different phases and to better join the different challenges of the project. Today, I focus more on the first one. It's the completion of the prototype of the game. Let me share my screen so I can show you a little better how the thing works. Let me know if you can see it.
It's just
Not
lagging a
yet.
little bit. Just going to pause it while that catches up.
Oops, no, share, I think, screen. Okay, that should do it.
We are most certainly having some bandwidth issues there. We haven't seen it come up yet. All right, it's just coming up for me now.
Okay, perfect. This is the website of the game. This is more or less the entire game manual. It's very long and contains all the information you may need about the game. Basically, it's a management game. It's something that's similar to a football manager game. So you have, instead of having a football teams, you have motorcycle teams. You have your riders, your specialists, your motorcycle to improve and to with the research. So your goal is to train your rider in the better way to try to win races and championships and get in top of your leagues. The league above. Everything in the game is based on NFTs, but it's not a play-to-earn game. There is no token and there is no payment of any kind. The goal for this game is for players just to have fun and enjoy a first-class management platform. Basically, what you have in your wallet usually are very many kinds of NFTs. Here you can see I have 4 motorbikes and a few different guys. Those are both riders or specialists. Now I will try to run the game inside the Unity engine so you can see better how it works. It will take a little bit because my PC is not the fastest one. Yeah, the introduction, everything that you see now is temporary. So everything will be replaced, graphics, models, and everything. You can't hear the music because otherwise you will not able to hear me. But what you do in the first load is verify your wallet so that you can define your personal PIN code. And then once you have it done, you can just enter your red handle or address and your PIN code to access the game. In this phase of the game, it's loading everything and checking what NFTs you have in your wallet, and you will be presented with the management scene. Now, as I said, everything is temporary. Don't look at the bad graphics because I just had to have something working there. But basically, you have this whiteboard where you can see the people you saw before and your motorbikes. You can decide to remove people, assign somebody else to that by a motorcycle, etc. The important thing are the specialists. Everybody has a different role. I don't have any mechanic, but that is very important. Anyway, I have engineers, doctors, and scouts. The scouts are the type of guy that allows you to find other people you need because there is no marketplace, there's no pre-sale. Everything is minted directly from the game. If you have scouts or sometimes spontaneously, you can receive an application letter. So in this case, I have a rider. I can decide to mint it, hiring it or not, or discarding it, if that's the case. And you can optimize your research and training using the test track that everybody has. So you can choose who can access to the test track. And if you want to have some more fun, you can just decide to drive the challenge. And that's it. Everything. Then now you can enjoy a little bit of a race with your teammates. You have to keep in consideration that you can damage your bike and you can hurt your rider in case of an accident. So if I drive very, very bad like this and I crash, that can give bad input to your driver, and your doctor may have some more to do for the future. So since the time is almost down, I'm stopping it, and I'm waiting for any question you may have about the game.
All right, there we go. Okay, yeah, thank you very much. You just finished a little bit early, but that's all good. Now, I do have some questions, so let me just start the timer for the question part. Development team about this.
Yes.
Game development's huge. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, graphics, website, all this stuff. What's the team behind it to get this delivered?
I'm a solo developer. I did everything by myself. Of course, I took a temporary graphics asset and I paid an artist for creating the first graphics for NFTs that I want to replace because it's just temporary. And that's the scope of my catalyst proposal. I want to have somebody else to help me out because I want an extra pair of some more hints and to find some mistakes I can have made and to share more ideas. So the first proposal I have is for finishing this prototype and publishing it so that we can have more people playing the game. I already did part of the project. You can see there is a lot of stuff already done there. There is a backend server already running, and I want to finish the prototype so that I can have better testing for more knowledge of people.
Cool, brilliant. Are you planning to open source any of this? Because
yes.
yeah, okay.
The game cannot be fully open source because it's a management game. If I open source it, it will mean we are wheeling out and revealing all the formulas I have for the training, for the research that can change. And so it will be remove the biggest, funniest part for a management game. But there are a lot of tools in the game itself that I'm making that are already available as open source. For example, I made a component for the Unity game engine for accessing the Maker APIs. It's already available on GitHub, and there is also another component for accessing the ADAOZ APIs. And I plan to make as many tools as possible and release them independently for the game, but are built for the game itself.
Now, Rafael, you got a question there?
Yeah, I was just wondering how many people do you expect to reach with this game? How many people do you think will be playing the game? Like, not necessarily right now, but like in the long run.
I expect to have a few hundred people playing the game on a regular basis. It's the game is played in real time, so there is a race every week. It is the kind of game that is played for a very long time. I don't know if you ever played a game about football. It's called Attrick Record. It's a web game about football, and there is also a match every week. I take some inspiration from the game. I also have a race every week, so a season will last 3 or 4 months. So there will be a few years in a human year. And every year, all your riders and specialists will grow older for 1 year, and growing older, they can lose some of your skills or become more difficult to train. So you can decide if a rider to transform you, promote this to a specialist, depending on what you do, or you can do whatever you want because it's an NFT that you own. You can decide to sell it if you think it's this is things you want to do.
Very cool. We've got a comment from the live stream as well. Just a comment. Impressive Audio says, games for the win. Loves games and the Web3 space. So a lot of support there for you.
I really want to bring other gamers to the Cardano ecosystem and also to show other indie game developers that there is other ways to create a business model that doesn't imply to make a play-to-earn game that very often are shown as scammy proposals, but also you don't even have to pay a 30% Steam tax when you want to publish your game. So there is another way that the blockchain allows you to use.
Okay. On that, publishing the games, there's those gaming publishing platforms like Steam or even iOS on Apple. They do get a lot of reach and exposure for marketing the game. Is there plans to ever go on them, or at least build a mobile app to reach more users that way?
I plan to use the Apple Store and the Windows Store because it will be a PC game first. It's not possible to use Steam because I don't have games to be published for the time being. So I really hope the community can help me out, and I hope to have other partnership with other realities in the Cardano ecosystem.
Okay, cool. And what about the NFT side of things, how does the NFTs integrate into the game itself?
Yeah, as I tried to say before, you have everything in the game is an NFT. You have people, you have motorcycles, and
Everything.
also the team themselves are NFTs. So when you own a team, you can join a championship and then really compete. Otherwise, you can just use the arcade parts to train your riders and make some research. But you need a team to participate to the official championships. So everything will be available inside the game itself, as you saw for the letter you saw before, but also for the motorcycle. When you finish a season, you have the chance to mint the new prototypes for the following season. And I don't plan to create any specific marketplace for that. I really want that everything inside the game and can be minted for. I really that the value of every NFT depends on what you do with them. So if you ride for a very long time, that will be more competitive for the game, and so it should have more value. But it's not a thing that they want to touch. It's depending on the players themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, Rafael, you got
So
a question?
Yeah. There will be rewards like for winning the season, and where will those rewards come from?
There will be a reward for both winning races or getting on the podium and winning the season. You will receive in your wallet, and I want to make this game some sort of DAO in the future. So giving the players the opportunity to decide what strategy I should follow for the development and which ideas to implement. So the number of NFTs that you own will give you more voting power, and every trophy you win will give extra voting power compared to any rider or motorbike you have.
All right, very cool. We're just about up for time as well for this one, but I'll just throw in one last question. Are the NFTs available for sale already?
No, there
Nope.
are not.
Okay.
I want to provide a few of them before the beta is released, but then I want that almost everything will be available from the game and from the players themselves on the secondary market.
All right, brilliant. All right, thank you very much, David, for your presentation.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And that brings us to the end of the very first Catalyst sprint. A little technical hiccups here and there, but I think we went all pretty well. I'll put all the links to all the proposals in the show notes. I'll have this republished and edited into little clips for everyone as well, so that you can see just their proposals as well. And you could be able to find them all on the Catalyst Explorer from Lido Nation too. So lots of places where you can revisit this content. Now, there are more of these sessions coming up. I think the next one is on Saturday as well. So please tune in for that one. We've got more projects. Keep an eye out on the Twitter feed for more information about that one too. So I'm pretty excited about all these. We get to really dig into all these various different projects and learn a little bit more about them. But thank you everyone on the live stream for joining in and asking questions and commenting on there as well. It's the engagement and interaction is always really appreciated. So everyone, until next time, please keep an eye out on everything that's happening in the Catalyst ecosystem. Make sure you keep aware of those dates. I think we do have a voting snapshot coming up soon. So make sure you have your wallets ready, have them all registered, have them staked, because you do need your wallet staked to be able to vote on all these proposals, and keep reading through them. There's so many proposals to go through. Guys, any final comments before we sign off?
Just thanking you. This is a really cool initiative. As I told you in the beginning, I think it's very important for people to get to know the projects, and also because we have like 1,600 proposals, something like that. So people don't have time to read through them all. So this really helps. So thank you, Pete, for your work.
I completely agree with what Rafael said, and thank you very much, Pete. It's very difficult for our small guys to have coverage, so this is a big opportunity that I enjoy to participate. Thank you very much.
And I can see Nebiyu in the chat there as well on the live stream. So everyone, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.